Hi there, my name is Lainey. Welcome back to my channel if you're not new here. If you are new here, like I said, my name is Lainey and I create lots of health, wellness, lifestyle, college, mental health content. And today I'm going to be just creating a short video to show you guys my grocery haul for this week, along with some food that I'll be prepping for the week. So let's just get into the first half of this video, which is going to be the grocery haul. I get groceries every Saturday and then I meal prep on Sunday. So I will show you the grocery haul now, and then tomorrow I will show you what I'm prepping for the week for school. So I do go to Trader Joe's to get all my groceries. Sometimes if there's like one or two things that I need to get that I can't get at Trader Joe's, I'll run to Target or something, but that's a very rare occasion. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with like produce kind of stuff. I don't know if this is all my produce, but this is a decent amount of it. It all got put in one bag. So I have romaine lettuce, bananas. I also already have mixed greens in my fridge for like salads, but I'm planning on using the romaine lettuce for a Caesar pita wrap kind of thing. I wanted to get like big wraps to make like a normal size wrap, like a Caesar wrap with tempeh, but they didn't have any big ones and I didn't want to do like two small tortillas, so I just decided I would get these like big pitas, which I'll show you here in a minute. Red pepper, red onion, 5 apples just to snack on, have in oatmeal, have in cereal. I don't know if that's a weird thing to have apple in cereal. Like I know people put berries and bananas and stuff in cereal, but apples are good in cereal too. But yeah, mostly I like having apples with like a string cheese or with like a nut butter of some sort. It's a really fast snack that's easy for me to take to class during the day, especially when it's like really busy and I only have a couple minutes in between classes to eat. I can eat an apple and a string cheese while I'm walking to my next class. Some broccoli. This is the only broccoli that they had. Usually I get like the kind that's already pre-chopped in the bag because it's cheaper and you get more, but they didn't have that, so I got this. The last things in my first bag is the Trader Joe's organic extra firm tofu and their cottage cheese. Again, I use this as a snack. I also use it in my overnight oats. You can also use Greek yogurt. I do have Greek yogurt in my fridge, but I use that for other things, like having it on rice cakes, having yogurt bowls, things like that. So I like to switch up protein sources, and I use cottage cheese for that. Okay, that's all for the first bag. My second bag is this huge IKEA bag. So here's the pita bread that I ended up getting. It's just like a whole wheat pita pocket, and I figured I could just make the Caesar, the stuff I was gonna put in the wrap, just make that and then put it in a separate container and then bring the pita with, and then when I have it at school I can like either put it in the pita and eat it, or like cut the pita in half and like open each side and fill it. I think either will work. So yeah, string cheese to snack on with the apple. Sometimes I get the regular string cheese, sometimes I get the light string cheese. I just switch it up. It literally does not matter. And I happened to grab the light one today. I was just grabbing this fast when I went to grab it, so I actually didn't even look at what one I chose today. But really doesn't make that big of a difference for me which one I choose. And then next I have garbanzo beans. I'm gonna use these. I posted a easy plant-based dinner recipe on my Instagram recently, and I'm going to make that recipe again this week. That's what these are for. I have 2 packs of tempeh, one to make my meal prep for hummus, red pepper, red onion, and tempeh sandwiches. That was really hard for me to say and I don't know why. And then I got 2 of these Barbells protein bars. I like all the flavors of these. I like the vegan one that they have at Trader Joe's too, the hazelnut one. They're all good, and I have these for days like when I'm either like if I run out of my string cheese and my apples, or like if I'm going somewhere and I need to have something in my purse, then that's small and can fit in my purse and go with me. And then I got an avocado. This one's decently ripe, but it also could sit for like a day or two and then it'll be perfect. I got more coconut aminos. I use this for my tofu and my tempeh when I'm cooking it. And the last 3 things I have are all drinks. So I get almond milk. I mostly get almond milk. One, I like almond milk. I like it in my coffee. I use almond milk for my cereal. It's also like the cheapest. I use it in the most things. So like if I were to get oat milk, I probably would also have to get almond milk because I don't like oat milk with like my cereal. I only really like oat milk in my coffee. So it just makes more sense for me to get the almond milk. And then I got 2 of their sparkling waters. I got the mandarin orange and the raspberry lime flavor. So that is everything that I got. And I will see you tomorrow when I start meal prepping. I almost forgot to show you guys the total. So today's total was $43.64. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, it is now Sunday. It is the morning for me. I have a lot of stuff I have to do today before around like 2:30ish, because then I have to go pick someone up and we're gonna go hang out. We're gonna go to a huge bookstore and then we might go get something to eat if I feel up to it. I don't really know if I want to eat out today, but we'll see. But I'm going to meal prep 3 things. I'm going to meal prep stuff for, like I said yesterday, I'm making a tempeh red pepper roasted hummus meal prep so I can make sandwiches throughout the week. I'm going to cook some tempeh to have in some Caesar wraps, and I'm going to prepare tofu and chickpeas and broccoli for a like grain bowl. Oh, and rice for a grain bowl. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. I will try and remember to put instructions on the screen or do a voiceover for you guys. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so starting off, I decided to put my rice in the rice cooker just so that I could have that going while I was doing everything else. I figured that would be the easiest way to get that done while the other stuff was cooking, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So here I prepped a 1.5 cups of brown long grain rice, and I just put it in my rice cooker and turned it on. And then I moved right on to the next thing, which was prepping my tempeh that I was making for my pita Caesar wraps. So I just cut up the tempeh, I sprayed it lightly with some oil, mixed that all together, and then I threw it in the air fryer and cooked it at 370 for about 10 minutes. And next I wanted to get started on my tofu, so I just cut both sides open and took them over to my sink and squeezed them out, and then I cut them into thirds. And then I cut them in half on the opposite side and then cut them into small cubes because I personally like to have my tofu in smaller cubes when I'm putting it in my grain bowls. By the time I was done prepping my tofu, my tempeh was done, so I just put it in a container and threw it in the fridge for the week. And now I'm separating my cut up tofu into 2 separate bowls so that I have a even distribution of the 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos and 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast that I'm using on top of them. So I'm just putting both of those things on there, and then I'm mixing it up with a fork so that it can evenly be combined over each piece of the tofu. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is drain the aquafaba, which is the liquid from a garbanzo bean can, and then I'm adding some pepper to the garbanzo beans, mixing it up and throwing it in the air fryer with a light spray of coconut oil, shaking it up, and then putting it at 370 for about 7 to 8 minutes. This is going pretty good so far. I feel like I'm doing, like I've only been probably spent about 15-20 minutes on this so far. I have the other half of my chickpeas here that's going to go in the air fryer, so I'm just saw. And I'm going to start cutting up the red onion and the pepper that I have. Before I cut this up, I wanted to show you a little trick that I have because my eyes water really bad when I cut onions. So what I do is I just take a sheet of like any paper towel, I get it wet, I don't rinse it out completely, like I don't wring it out completely, and I set it on my cutting board, which you will see in a minute. And then the way that it works, I heard this, I don't remember where I read this or heard it, but basically onions are trying to get to like the closest source of water, and your tear ducts in your eyes obviously have water, so that's why it like makes your eyes burn. So if you have another source of like water next to it, it'll make your eyes water less. That's why there's going to be a paper towel on my cutting board in case you're wondering. But yeah, let's just try to get this chopped up. I'm going to use half of this red onion, and I'll save the other half for either something later in the week or next week. So like I said, I'm going to start by chopping up this red onion, and just started by cutting it in half and putting the 1/2 in a container and throwing it in the fridge to use later. And then I got to chopping up the half that I was actually going to be cooking for this week's meal. And then I just moved the red onions aside and got started on cutting up my pepper. I just cut it into little strips so that I can line it up easily on the sandwich later this week when I'm making that actual sandwich for me to eat while I'm at school, in between classes, all that sort of stuff. And then what I like to do is I will throw a little bit of the red pepper and the red onion in a bowl, add half a teaspoon of avocado oil, salt and pepper, mix it up, and then add the rest of the red onion and the red pepper, add another half teaspoon of avocado oil, and then add a few more cracks of salt and another sprinkle of pepper. Mix that and set it to the side. Moving on really quick, I cut open my tempeh to start working on the tempeh for this hummus red pepper red onion sandwich. But then my chickpeas were done, so I put those in a container and put the red onions, red peppers in the air fryer. I also needed to check on my rice because that was done cooking, so I took a fork to that and fluffed it up a bit, and then also put that in a container to store in the fridge until later this week. Moving back to the tempeh, I did 3 tablespoons of coconut aminos, evenly dispersed, and then mixed that and let that sit until it was time for it to go in the air fryer. Once the peppers and onions were done, I put those in a container. After I cooked the tempeh, I also put that in the container and stored that in the fridge. And the final thing I did was cook my tofu at 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. I have the last little bit of tofu. I cooked it in 3 separate batches. Tinfoil just decided to fall out with the tofu. It's fine. I just have it in this container. I'm gonna put it in the fridge. That is everything that I am meal prepping today. As you can see, I got ready while I was actually meal prepping. Meal prepping is an amazing thing. You can do so many things while you're doing it. And it also helps you throughout the week. Like, I'm getting this done while I'm doing other things in my room, but also throughout the week I'm gonna be able to have meals that are quick and easy and delicious. So just to recap really quick what the meals are that I'm using these meal preps for this week is I'm going to be making a rice tofu chickpea bowl with a vegan Caesar dressing and broccoli. I will also be making a vegan Caesar pita wrap with romaine lettuce, the tempeh, the plain tempeh that I cooked in the air fryer, some tomato, and the Trader Joe's vegan Caesar dressing. And the last thing that I made was I roasted the tempeh with coconut aminos along with red peppers, red onions, and some avocado oil with some salt and pepper. And I'll put those on a sandwich with some mixed greens, some roasted garlic hummus, and tomato. So that is the 3 things that I prepped for this week. I usually also prep oatmeal, but I am out of protein powder right now, so I probably will just have a yogurt bowl tomorrow morning, and then hopefully tomorrow night my new order of protein powder will be in the building for me to use for like Tuesday through Friday. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration on maybe some easy plant-based meal ideas, along with like showed you how I'm able to fuel myself properly and get a nutritious diet in while being a very busy student. Leave a comment down below letting me know how your week has been, and also let me know any other types of videos you would like to see. I will see you in the next one. Bye!